Hello, hello. Welcome on day 1166 of Connecting the Thoughts. Quote for today is knowledge when applied can potentially evolve into wisdom. Now, what do I mean by that? When you have knowledge about a particular thing, when you have knowledge about some subject, when you have knowledge about art, about relationships, that's great. But until you apply that knowledge, until you put some action into it, until you utilize it, hands on learning, as they say, is more effective than book knowledge. So, until you apply that knowledge, it doesn't evolve into wisdom. So, these are my thoughts, and I would like to go deeper into this on the other side of the equation. I invite you to tag a friend who needs to receive this message, someone who might be very knowledgeable but not wise, or somebody who is wise because they've put their knowledge to use. Tag a friend, and if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the channel, because here is where I post daily videos on the little things that make life big. I will see you on the other side of the show reel. Welcome back to the conversation. Quote for today is all about the difference between knowledge and wisdom. So what I said before we left out was that, one second, let me bring the quote back up on the screen so that you can see. The quote is: knowledge, when applied, can potentially evolve into wisdom. Knowledge, when applied, can potentially evolve into wisdom. And what do I mean by that? When you are in, okay, let me just put it differently. When I just a few days yesterday, I was in conversation with a friend, and he said, you know, the course that you post are really, really like, they just don't make sense to me. And I said, of course they make sense to you. He said, yeah, yeah, nothing usually makes sense to me. So I said, well, I don't know where from, but the conversation somehow went into school. I'm not educated. So I said, education has nothing to do with wisdom. And honestly, it doesn't. I'm just going to write that down. Education has nothing to do with wisdom. I'm actually going to write that down as my next quote. Education has nothing to do with knowledge or wisdom. Wisdom. Actually, it has nothing to do with wisdom. Why? Because, sorry, it's nothing to do with wisdom because it, schools give you education, they give you knowledge, but it's you who has to apply it, right? It's you who has to learn, put your knowledge that you acquired from the books, from the schooling, from the education into practice. For instance, a school teaches you not just what is in the books, not just what the subjects are, but it also teaches you about discipline. It teaches you about authenticity. It teaches you tolerance. It teaches you respecting others. It teaches you so many other things. In a very subtle, unconscious level, you pick up all these things as you're growing up. It teaches you trust. So you then have that understanding of, oh, who can I trust and who can I not trust. Some people say, no, my school didn't teach me about trust. I never trusted my teachers. Excuse me, you don't trust your teachers, or you don't trust your friends, or you don't trust certain things around you. Why? Because you had an experience that taught you not to trust them. So they did not teach you about trust. Yes, it did. So what are you going to do with that knowledge that you acquired and apply it in your world so that you can make wise choices. That's what we're talking about today. Now, for let's if you were to take another example of colors. For instance, when you were little, you were taught, you mix in colors, you get a particular color. You mix pink and blue and you get purple. Now, the shade of purple that you need to get really depends on how much of blue and how much of pink you mix. So, if it's more of pink, so it's more of a magenta-ish purple that you get. And if it's more of a purplish, a blue, more of blue and pink, then you get a more navyish purplish. The color is very different, but it's still a purple. It's more violet. It's more inclined towards violet. So this again you get from practicing it. You get it by practicing mixing those colors. You have the knowledge that these colors come together and create purple. However, what happens is what happens is you it's when you mix more of one, less of the other, is when you realize how much of overlapping should there be to get your perfect shade. It's by putting things into action. So by applying that knowledge and realizing how much of how much of blue should I apply so that it's more violetish, or how much of pink should I apply so that it's more magenta-ish purple. Think about this and start putting your knowledge into action, because it's only when you apply your knowledge it can potentially evolve into wisdom. And why do I say potentially involve? Because some of us know the equation, we know how to get the things done right. However, we are stuck in our old frame of mind, we are stuck in our old thought processes, and because of that, we push away possibilities and potential of evolving that knowledge into wisdom. Yes, that also tends to happen. Some of us are just very rigid in our thought process, and so we don't evolve. But wouldn't it be beautiful if we could evolve into wisdom, evolve that wisdom, knowledge into wisdom, and then share it, or just showcase it in whatever way possible. So think about this, and if this has been of value to you, please write in comments saying I am wise. Please write in comments saying I am wise. And until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe, and thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Thank you so much once again. Once again, I ask you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I've been posting daily videos for you since May 1st, 2018, without a gap, on the little things that make life big. Through rough days, through good days, through happy days, through sad days, through easy days, and difficult ones too. So, a courtesy subscribe for the channel is all that I request, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you once again.